All right, so a few people asked me to see what the video specs on the Nikon ZR were. Not the video specs, the photo side of the ZR were like. So I decided to come out here to the lakefront, to a new spot I haven't shot yet, and see what I can get at sunrise. It's a little bit rainy, so I'm hiding underneath a tree to try and keep what I can dry. But let me prep a camera and fire off some shots, and then we will go home, throw them in Lightroom, play with them, and see how they look compared to a couple shots on my Z6 III. All right, so I was asked to review the Nikon ZR for photography. So this past weekend, I went out and used the ZR for some sunrise photography at a new spot at the lakefront. And it was a pretty interesting time using this body for photography. First things first, it's small. With me using a Z6 III for photography, as you can see, I'm used to buttons and having everything, back button focus, another button for ISO, FN buttons in the front with custom preset settings that I can change on the fly, user set custom modes and interfaces kind of already predetermined for what I'm going to be shooting at that time. I never really used the aperture priority or shutter priority or auto modes. I mostly just shoot manual for everything that I do. It's just weird not having those buttons, not having the plus and minus button to really zoom in and review an image after I take it to see if I need to take it again. There's just a lot of things that I'm missing that I can't necessarily say that I can live without in a photography body. Would I buy it for photography first? No, I probably wouldn't. I don't see myself spending $2,200 to specifically do photography on a body and it not have all of the features that I've come to expect for a photography body when I'm out chasing pictures. It is a video based and oriented camera, so buying it and expecting for it to do all that a photography centered body is going to do is a big ask. That's kind of where I'm at with it. It's small. I mean, that's why a lot of people are interested in it. It's small, and I mean, if small is your thing, if you don't mind not having the EVF, if you don't mind not having the buttons and you're not used to having customizable buttons or any of the things that somebody who is already deep into photography would need or has become accustomed to having in their photography body, it is difficult to pick up something like this and be completely satisfied when you're out on a shoot. It does have a lot of the features that the Z6 III has. Same sensor, great performance. Autofocus is there, same as the Z6 III, perform on par. Autofocus wise, physically, just the act of taking a picture, it's pretty much the same as a Z6 III. I mean, it's just instead of back button focus, I got to do a half shutter focus, and then click the shutter to take my shot. But I mean, outside of that, if you are seriously looking to get into photography in a Nikon ecosystem, there are better bodies to do it with, depending on your budget and what you're looking to spend. Because it's $21.96 for the Nikon ZR, brand new. $21.96 puts you in the middle of a few different options. And if video isn't something that you're looking for primarily, you could either spend a few dollars more for a Z6 III, because I've seen a lot of YouTubers say, oh, well, what if you buy it and they come out with a, you know, digital hot shoe mounted EVF to pop on, you know, with the new digital hot shoe that's on this unit. And okay, but let's take the time to think about realistically, how much is a nice quality EVF going to cost to put on top of this body? I don't see Nikon charging less than $300 to $600, if not more, for a quality 3.5, 5.5 million pixel EVF like what's in the Z6 III. I realistically, at that point, $21.96 plus, let's just meet in the middle, another $500. You at the cost of a brand new Z6 III at that point, with not all of the photography performance that a Z6 III has. So at that point, all you're really doing is building a camera better for photography when you could have just bought one in the first place. If you want to save a few dollars, you can take a step down and go to the Z5 II, which is going to give you full frame, less than a $2,000 price point, video performance, all of the photography customization buttons that you would need, that I would probably say at the bare minimum for photography, entry level, a Z5 II is going to get you there. Has all the autofocus performance of the Z6 III, since it does have the XB7 chip. It has a little bit more dynamic range, even better low light performance than what's inside the Z6 III. So, I mean, you can go that route, or if you want to save even more money, you can back it up even more to the Z52, APS-C sensor, crop sensor, get a little bit more reach out your lenses, or you can, I guess, buy the crop sensor lenses, or I would just buy full frame, honestly, as at some point you probably will want to step into a full frame body the more you get invested and deeper into photography. So, I mean, you'll have more reach with every lens that you put on it, but you could buy cheaper body that is still going to be quite satisfactory. As even with my Z9, which I'm recording this on, my Z6 III and my ZR, I do still consider adding a Z52 to the fold just to use for wildlife and birding photography, for whenever I get that wild hair up my ass to go out and shoot some birds or something like that. I can go grab that body, have a 1.5 times crop, put that on my 100 to 400, or get the 180 to 600, and have a little bit more reach when I'm out shooting birds, because I'm going to be honest, 400 ain't enough reach for birds. 600 really ain't enough reach for birds. 800 or better would be great for birds, but that's a pretty big lens to have to carry and lug around. And I like to carry a lot of gear in my book bag when I'm out shooting, because I never know what I'm going to be in the mood to shoot. And I can go from shooting landscape to going to go shoot street photography to going over to the bird sanctuary and seeing what birds I can catch. I mean, I never know. And then I might go somewhere and try and do some portraits at any given random moment. So you never really know what you want to shoot. And so having a camera capable of doing all of that would kind of be ideal. I'm getting off subject here. But back to the ZR. Let's see, I wrote down a few things so that I can try and stay on topic, because I know how I can get carried away. So if you are 100% new to photography, owning a camera, and you are looking at the Nikon ZR because it has a small, I guess relatively simple to use, I guess because you don't see that many buttons on it, so I guess from the outside looking in, new to gear perspective, I guess that would be enticing, not having to figure out what every button does. But I feel like at that standpoint, it makes it even more difficult, because now you have to go into a menu system to change everything. There is no ISO button to switch to ISO on the fly quickly on this body. And then you would have to customize one, which I guess is doable, but it's not as convenient as the built-in ISO on the photography first bodies. So, I mean, I don't really see that being worthwhile. I guess it really depends. I'm already set into a certain viewpoint for what I need for a photography body. So me picking up a video body and trying to make it acceptable for what I desire out of photography based equipment, it does not fit the bill. I bought it for a video camera. That's what I'm gonna use it for. That being said, if I am in a pinch and I do need to take a picture and for some odd reason the ZR is the only camera that I have on me, absolutely, I'll use it just because I prefer using the actual camera with a large full frame sensor over pulling my 17 Pro Max out and taking a picture with that. Of course, I'm gonna use the ZR instead, but 9 times out of 10, if I'm going anywhere, either my Z9 or Z6 III is nearby and ready to go with a lens that I'm likely gonna use. My 24-70 2.8S will likely be mounted on either one of them as it lives on my camera body. So, yeah, that works. I'm just trying to be as thorough as I can, as I'm actually a photographer. I'm not in this to be an influencer. I guess doing content in some way, shape, or form, you're trying to influence, but that's not necessarily why I started this. I wanted to give actual viewpoints from somebody who is an actual photographer who does this largely as a hobby out of the love of creating beautiful photographs, and as somebody who's also dipping into the world of professional photography as well. Just because, I mean, I spent a lot of money on this camera gear. I want to try and make some of it back to continue to buy things as they come out and are released. Let's see what else. What else do I got down here to cover? I covered that, which bodies to buy, performance. Yeah, I guess I didn't really finish that topic. If you looking for a simple camera and you know nothing and you aren't biased and you got $2,200 to throw at it to find out if you like it, buy it. Go ahead. If you're the type of person that likes to tinker and doesn't mind really digging into this to make it work for you, and you don't have any biased starting point for a desire, you haven't experienced the convenience of having a button for everything, buy it. I mean, it's gonna work. The photo modes that you might want for creativity, the pixel shift, the focus stacking, the time-lapse shooting, the auto bracketing modes, all of them are there and in the photo shooting menu on the Nikon ZR. You can put this bad boy on a tripod, or you can handheld it and create majority of what I can create with my Z6 III, just albeit it'll take you a little bit more effort and you'll be a little bit slower to get everything dialed in and do what you want to do. But I mean, it's a completely capable camera body. I don't want to take that away from it at all. I love Nikon. As you can see, I am well invested into the Nikon Z ecosystem. It's just a matter of, when I buy a piece of equipment, I am very specific about what I'm using it for, and if it doesn't fit the bill for that use case, I'm probably just not going to throw the money away on it. I even feel weird right now that I'm recording a video on my Z9 and not the ZR, when that's what I bought this for. I want to shoot as much video as I can on this and learn and play with it and try and learn how to create my own little movies, clips, film, cinema, etc., whatever. That's the path that I'm looking to take with my equipment. At the end of the day, you're the person who works for the money that you're going to have to spend on anything that you decide to buy from this point forward. So the only suggestion I can make to you is to spend it wisely. I'm not going to tell you to go out and buy it because I'm a Nikon fanboy. As true as that may be, I'm going to tell you to go and spend your money on what you find fits your needs the best. If you want a small body with a sensor that you can take pictures on with minimal buttons, have at it, buy it. If you want the honest opinion of a photographer who does so many different types of photography, I'm going to say buy another body. And then once you know that you want to dive into video, add it. If you got the budget to purchase something better for photography now and then add it to the collection, do that. But if you only have the money to make the purchase of one body right now and the primary use of that camera is going to be photography and taking pictures, don't buy the Nikon ZR. Your money can be spent so much better spending it on a camera body that is going to be more oriented for what you intend on using it for. There's so many people reviewing this camera body and they're reviewing it as influencers. And it's like, all right, cool, I get it. Like, you got to make your content for the internet, but for people who actually do, look to these YouTube videos for some type of honest viewpoint on, will this camera work for my needs and this is what I'm looking to do with it, there isn't a lot of that. It's just a bunch of mixed opinions of people just trying to create some type of overall video to give them some content and something to post. I'm very specific in what I buy my equipment for. So I knew going into this that I probably was pre-biased to the point where I didn't like to use it for photography. But with that said, I shot images on the ZR, I shot images on the Z6 III, and what I come to find is that I shot both of them at base ISO, ISO 100. I think everything I put on them was, I think I ran the Plena 1.8 on the ZR for a while, and I think I ran either the 24 to 70 on the Z6 III, and then I put the 100 to 400 S lens on the ZR for some punched in work to see how that worked. At base ISO, the Nikon ZR did seem to produce more noise in my images than the Z6 III did at the exact same settings in the exact same light, standing in the exact same 5-foot area, shooting at the exact same general composition. It had more noise in the images than the Z6 III did. Although it doesn't matter, I could use either Pure Raw or my Lightroom and denoise it, and it cleaned it up, no problem at all whatsoever. It's just something to note. I guess that's information that would be important as a photographer. Other than that, I mean, the images came out beautiful. I don't know if you guys can see them. I'm going to put a few of these up so that you can take a look at them. And they will be posted on my Instagram page so that you can take a look at them. At some point, I need to find a way to host and share these images so that you can take a better look at them than what Instagram and or social media is going to allow. But, I mean, you can take a look at some of the images that I captured with it and be the judge for yourself. All of these, if you can see them, have been shot on the ZR. My favorite one that I shot on the ZR is this one. I took this with the 14 and 24 2.8 on the ZR. The settings were 1/100 f2.8 at ISO 100. For some odd reason, people like to ask the settings. It really doesn't matter. But in this case, I will just give them to you. And then I did this handheld panorama with the ZR. I did it with the 135 1.8 Plena I love this image, the rendering on that lens. It's the lens. In this case, it was the lens, 100%. The plenter does the work. Beautiful images, came out great. This one I shot handheld on the Z6 III. Z6 III does what the Z6 III does. I know what that's going to do. If you find yourself with this camera and you decide at any given point, hey, I want to go out and buy a little hot shoe flash, that's another point that I wanted to touch on as I do portrait work too. The max shutter sync speed is 1/60 of a second. So, I mean, you have flash, and I saw somebody touch on that and say, oh, well, you're going to have, blurry, shaky images. That's not true, because if you're using the flash is going to freeze the subject. So, I mean, that's not much of a worry. It's just 1/60 is low. You can't shoot within your traditional 1/200, 1/250th of a second. And you damn sure ain't never gonna see high speed sync with this if you like to shoot in broad daylight like I do. So that's something else to consider. You probably want to get a photography based body before you purchase the video based one for photography. That's my honest to God review on the camera. I love it. I bought it. I own one. I rushed out and I got my hands on one of the first 3 units that touched down in the state of Illinois. I went to the Nikon ZR release party, review party, inspection, release, whatever it was at my ProCam out in Aurora that they had a few weeks prior to the actual release day of the event. The week before, actually, I got a chance to play with it in a small rig cage. They had a bunch of different lenses out there. I got a chance to physically hold it. I never once flicked the switch to photo. I think I flicked it to photo once to just see what it looked like on the screen, but I flicked it right back to video and started playing with it with video features and functions with the cage and everything that they had set up, the whole cinema rig and everything. In the end, I told my guy at the store, have me one. When will it be released? He said next week on Monday. I will be here on Monday to pick one up, put me one to the side. That's a sold camera. It's worth it, honestly. If you already have a camera body, don't take me saying that as I'm saying go out and buy it if you don't got any other camera. As my general recommendation, point blank, before I ramble on any more, if you don't got a camera body and you want to do photography, buy something else. And then if you still want it, buy it then as a secondary body so that you already got a body that's capable of everything that you might find yourself needing and or wanting for photography. If you don't know, looking for your first camera body in the Nikon ecosystem and don't really care for any of that or find it out, buy it. You'll love it. It's going to work. It's going to take great pictures. Make sure you got some good software. I do know I saw on a few Reddit forums that a couple people were having issues editing the files, the NEF files in certain photo processing apps. Lightroom works fine. If you got Lightroom, like most professionals use, you'll be fine. You'll be able to edit it, denoise it, make beautiful photos, and not have to worry about it. So that's my take on the Nikon ZR. If you should or shouldn't buy it for photography, I've been as honest as I can possibly be with you about this camera body. Outside of that, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, night, evening, morning, whatever time you might be watching this. Again, I appreciate you for tuning in, and if I might have helped you at any point during this video, found me interesting, appreciate my honest to God review as a photographer, please give me a like, share, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, let me know what you think. Did this review video suck? I mean, hey, I'm new to this, so just just, you know, talk to me. Let me know if this was worthwhile of me even taking the time out to shoot this video for you guys. Again, I appreciate you for tuning in. Peace.